Great win. We anticipated they'd play us all zone. They did that versus Air Force, which some teams will decide to do that because of the Princeton offense, but they had done it in the Nevada game. So we had a late game Friday, took the day off, the next day off, and really had one day to prepare for the zone. I thought our guys were ready to go. There was a lull there where we turned the ball over a little bit too much. If I had to nitpick, I would say turnovers and then obviously the missed free throws. But other than that, I thought we played really, really unselfish basketball. We shot the ball. Normally it doesn't matter, but we shot the ball extremely well this morning at shoot around. So we knew we'd have to make shots because of what they were going to do defensively. So a great win, back to school tomorrow, and get ready for UNLV.
I know you always sing the praises of the pit and all that, but you guys have had 3 straight dominant wins here, and then a pretty exciting overtime win as well. What can you do? Is there anything you can do to replicate that in any way on the road, to try and get the energy you guys get here and figure out a way to play with it on the road?
It's hard to simulate that. I don't think, besides, honestly, New Mexico State, I think our energy has been very, very good. I thought it was good versus San Jose. I just didn't think we made shots and we didn't rebound the ball when we needed to. But this is a special place with an amazing fan base. UNLV's got some good momentum right now. I think they play today, Wyoming, I think, or tomorrow. So we're just gonna take it on the road, and we've won 3 I think league games on the road. And UNLV is a program that's really, really good. It's an early game, and we got to be ready to go. But you can't simulate one of the best home courts in college basketball. It's too hard.
And then this also falls probably under the nitpicking a little bit because you guys are 8-1. But San Jose State twice, one of them being a loss. These guys, the first time you played them, you guys kind of had a tendency to sort of maybe play down to the teams in the lower half of the standings, whereas the teams at the top you guys played great against. Was there anything that you did differently to sort of remind them when you guys were up big, like we can't just let them hang around?
We reminded them of that. Now, I thought at Fresno we played great for a lot of the game. We just, the last couple of minutes, let them kind of creep back into it. But I thought we were pretty good that game after rewatching it. I was frustrated with the way we finished to let them come back in the game. But reminded them the last 4 or 5 minutes, like, hey, don't let up. Guard the three-point line. Gave up a couple of and ones that we didn't need to. But, yeah, I mean, overall, great performance.
Coach, you said that last game was the best first half you've seen. You had another great start. I know you talked about the lull, but just talk about how encouraged you are with the energy you guys have been showing up with and getting a quick start tonight.
Playing really hard. Mentality defensively has been great. You know, they're eager to get stops and rebounds. They're eager to guard the three-point line. They know when we get stops and rebounds, we can get out on the break, and we're really good at that. They were saying the right things in the huddles about sharing the ball and doing those things. So mentality's been very, very good. Very, very good. Now we got to go take it on the road and a totally different dynamic. So, the competitiveness, not a lot to be bothered by with that. I think you guys are playing really hard.
Sure, and then in games like this, it's nice when you get to see your bench. They get some minutes. How big was that to have those guys?
Yeah, I mean, it was great to see a guy like Jovan come in, knock down some shots. Braden came in, obviously made a couple threes. Sacco, Q, Tiki continues to give valuable minutes. So that's always nice if you could do that so you can rest some of your guys, but also build your bench because you're going to need them. And our bench wasn't great in the first half, but way better in the second half.
With classes starting tomorrow, how did you had like a month off where you have these guys that are full-time basketball players? How does that change for you?
Yeah, it changes a lot. We did a phenomenal job in the first semester. I'm not sure of the exact grades yet, but it was really, really good. So very proud of them. Although this thing has evolved into professional sports right in front of our eyes, we want to make sure they understand that the degree matters. So we hold them accountable. It's a little more on their plate. We got to be aware of that. Making sure they're going to class, making sure they're going to study hall, and just for us being aware of not wearing them out too much because although it is pro sports, they still got to go to school.
Your buddy Mick Cronin has been making a lot of noise about road games, the challenges of being on the road. Your next 2 games are pretty tough. You got UNLV, Utah State. Is this a chance to really kind of establish yourself, maybe get some separation?
Well, Mick's point is absolutely right. It's a major disadvantage for teams going west to east. We're obviously going to Las Vegas, so it doesn't apply necessarily. But at some point, football just needs to break off and do their whole thing, and maybe we could get some semblance of something making sense. Obviously, we don't have that issue with our conference, but it's you're going to see those West Coast teams going east. It's going to be hard. So it doesn't apply certainly to us going to Vegas and to Utah, but I think Mick's right. I really do, and I think it's a shame. Obviously, I've been down on the conference realignment thing on our piece, but it is what it is, and you got to adapt.
I want to ask about a couple individual players. Donovan, 20 points, 9 assists, no turnovers, and a block, 2 steals. He's kind of doing a little bit of everything and not letting up against lesser opponents. Is he doing different things right now than even a month ago?
Yeah, I think he's settled in really good, playing very confidently, making some mid-range shots. Although I think he missed 2 threes, they were good looks. He's guarding a little bit better. They cut it to 9 when he was in foul trouble. I'm happy I kept him in the game because he extended that lead. He's showing great leadership. So you don't get it as much anymore, but this is year 3 for him, and it's great to see the maturation. So I thought he played phenomenal today.
And then the one guy, if your pick again falls under the nitpicky stuff, but Philip didn't have the best stat line of your starters, but he's really seemed to be, in a lot of ways, maybe the difference for you guys in the last, when you guys elevated your game in recent weeks. He seems to be the X factor that maybe did that.
Yeah, he didn't play a lot because of all the subs and everything like that, but love seeing him have a dunk. I've been telling him you got to drive in there and get a dunk. So he didn't really get a lot of opportunities, but yes, he has been kind of the unsung hero. And a key part of our success is with him playing better.
You're at the midway point. How do you feel you've seen this team grow and kind of evolve up to this point in league play?
We're 8-1. So obviously feel good about that, sitting in first place. I think the commitment level to defense has been great. And you're hearing him talk about it more and more, less about offense. And it's amazing when you don't talk about offense, you score 95 points. So I think the commitment level to improving on the defensive side of it has been for sure what we've done over the break.
Anybody else? One more.
Yep.
I want to ask about the turnovers. So you start the game out really good. You don't have a turnover for the first about 10 minutes. But then you have a series about 4 minutes where you have 5 at once. Can you talk about this kind of coming back from that?
Yeah, that was an issue because we were sitting in a timeout. It was 8 assists, 0 turnovers. And then, like you said, it was 5 turnovers, and we just needed to be better. I subbed a little bit, and some of those bench guys have got to be just, a little bit more fundamentally sound. So overall, that was, if there's one thing I'm going to look at and be frustrated with, it was that.
I'm going to tee one up for you. Friday night, 9 p.m. start. You guys get 14,000, which is a unique start time, a late start time that hurts attendance a lot. And then a Monday afternoon game at 3 p.m. And you get 13 plus. I know you've said it before, but they aren't doing this in a lot of places around the country.
Yeah.
Is that something that you talk to the players about a little bit to make sure they understand?
Yeah. You can never accuse me of not appreciating our fans, but 18 to 22-year-olds probably don't have the same perspective as older people, but I tell them all the time, it is not like this everywhere. It's not. And that's why this job is really special. It really is. To have a bad crowd of over 13,000, there's places that would kill for that. So we have a top 20 fan base. We have a top 20 home court. We're working on all the other things. That investment that the fans give us, it's huge. Everybody talks about it all the time. They want it to get rolling so bad, and there's so many factors that go into it. But the more that this community invests in us, they're going to get it back in return. So very, very grateful. It means it's just different with this fan base. I think it's because their grandparents grew up going there, their parents, just that family community feel. Our players have to appreciate it because you're not getting that at a lot of places.
First half, but why today were you guys able to kind of keep the foot on the gas pedal?
I think coach emphasized it more now, and at this moment we were playing for the championship. We number 1 in the conference. We're trying to stay there, and losing to teams like this is not going to help us at all. So we're trying to accomplish the first goal, which is win the regular season championship.
They're a team that likes to run. You guys like to run. You guys are the only two that run like this in the Mountain West. A lot of other teams play really slow. Are you surprised a little bit that even though that's sort of what they do normally, that a team from California is going to come into the pit and try and run as much as they did with you guys? Were you guys surprised by that at all?
Nah, we knew they run. That's their type of play, space the floor and just run. So we was ready.
All right, and then the last one from me is Donnie ends up with 20 and 7, or I'm sorry, 20 and 9, 2 steals and a block, and people are starting to talk about midway through the season, who might be player of the year and stuff like that. What kind of season is Donnie having in your mind as a teammate?
He's having a great season. He's a good player. He's able to showcase his talent on the court. I think he's been very consistent throughout the games, and I think he should be the player of the year.
Don't look to the left.
Yeah, look over there.
Where?
Yeah, over there.
That's back-to-back games where you guys just jumped out right away. Played with a lot of intensity early. How crucial is that for you guys? And you guys just feeling comfortable?
Yeah, I think we started it right away. They didn't score it was 15-0 or something, but I don't know. We just played hard. We was ready to go, and they was kind of scared of the pit, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And for games like that, when you get to see the bench come out and get a lot of good minutes, how big is that for you guys to watch that and then get some minutes too?
I love it. I love it. Everybody on the bench is a good guy, good teammate. They go hard every day in practice. So I think them having that kind of success on the court, it's just big on the team chemistry, and it just makes everybody happy.
You're halfway through this conference race. You're 8-1. Things are looking pretty good. You have a nationally televised game on Saturday. Look, is now the time to regroup? Because now that you've gotten through this couple of games, you're ready for the big stage again?
Yes, definitely. It's 5 days off before the game, or from the games, not from practice. But we're ready. Last year we dropped a couple games to UNLV. We were supposed to win, so I'm ready to go get it back.
Yeah, the next 2 games are on the road against 2 of the better teams in this conference. Is this a chance for this team to really kind of look? I think people here know this team's good. Maybe it's a chance to prove yourselves regionally, maybe even nationally.
Yes, definitely. I think so. If we want to be champions, these are the games we gotta win.
Mustapha, 2 great games at home. Now, how do you carry that over to these back-to-back road games, to keep that momentum going?
I would say defense. Defense travels. If we play hard and play defense, that's something that's easier to do on the road than just making shots. Because there's days you don't make shots, but every day you can control your effort and how you play defense.
This team has really responded after losses and seems to get better every time and research every time. Has there been a sense of sometimes getting more out of those losses and sometimes big wins like this one?
Yeah, I think it does everybody good win like this, And now we have that little break till the next game. We have time to look back what we've been doing good, what we've been doing bad, and just get better.
I think just the 4th time this year you guys have double-digit 3-pointers, and you guys hit 13 of them. I know Coach Pitino tells us all the time he wants you guys to be taking more, not just making more. He likes it when you make it too. But did you see anything? Did you guys do anything different to put up more threes today, or was it just sort of in the flow?
Not really. They played a lot of zone, so that kind of opened up 3-point shots.
Do you think that zone in any way for a little while it looked like maybe it was it took you guys just a little bit to figure it out? I mean, we're nitpicking if in this game we're finding faults with a whole lot, but it did look like maybe a little bit that it took you guys some time to figure out that zone.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning they couldn't guard us with it, but then they kind of fixed it a little bit, and it took us a couple minutes to figure it out again. But that's a basketball game.